Okay, what's the graph of each function rule? So we're just going to graph it and see what we get. Um, these, we didn't focus heavily, on non-linear functions. We didn't really do that this year anyway. So I'm going to show you this, but I don't know how, I'll talk to Mr. Lakai about whether we're going to include this in any kind of test that we've got for you. But you should know how to square something. And if we square this number, the rule says square the x value and then add 1. So if we square 3, negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9, plus 1 more is 10. Okay? Squaring negative 2 times negative 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. Squaring negative 1 times negative 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. Squaring 0, 0 squared is 0, plus 1 is 1. And now watch, squaring negative 1 and squaring 1 give you the same result. Negative 1 here and 1 should give you the same result, because watch, what's 1 squared? 1, just like negative 1 squared was 1. Okay, so 1 squared is 1, plus 1, 2. And we're now getting these mirrored values like this. These are the same. Guess what the next one's going to be? Let's put in 2. 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. You're getting these mirrored values like that. Okay. 3 squared is 9. Plus 1 is 10. Again, mirrored values. Okay. So that's going to happen around the vertex. Now, I'm going to erase this. These marks, but I just wanted to point that out that they do that. And that's always going to happen for these types of squared second degree functions, these parabolas or quadratic equations. Don't worry about all those terms, but let's graph it then. Okay, I'm going to put dots now. I'm going to put red dots, but then I'm going to graph the line in blue. Okay, negative 3 comma 10, that's all the way up here. Negative 2 comma 5, that's here. Negative 1 comma 2 is here. 0 comma 1 is right here. 1 comma 2, and you see the mirroring happening. 2 comma 5 and 3 comma 10. Okay. Now you can see, and I'm kind of rotating this. I hope that doesn't mess you up. But I am going to. What we want to do is we want to draw this as a curve. It's not a straight set of lines that go from one point to the next. You actually are kind of leveling out to 0 and curving around here like this. Okay. Let me do that better. Let me undo that. At the bottom, it's curved sharply, and then it gets more steep as you go up, like this, something like that. Okay, so if we come down here, it looks pretty steep between these points because they're far apart, but then as it starts to get close together, it really curves like that. Okay, generally like that. And of course, there's arrows. It's a little rough sketch there, but that's what it looks like. Okay. This, whatever value makes this the lowest, and when it's only just x squared and this plus 1, whatever is going to make this the lowest is going to be the lowest point. And what makes that the lowest? 0, right? So this then becomes how far up this thing is shifted, right? Up 1 unit from 0. That's the graph of it. How do you do that? You do that by making a table of values. And I started at negative 3 and went to 3 because I could see that when I square that and get 9 and add 1, it gives me 10, and that was the highest up that I can go before I'm off the graph. So that's how I determined it. Yeah, let's try one more. Okay, so now we've got, it's still going to be a parabola. It's still going to be that curved kind of cup shape. It's a parabola. And because we've got this 2x squared here, this is going to double the values that we get from x squared. So some of these will be off the page or off the graph. Okay, and we could always change the numbers, or change the scale of the graph to fit it. But I just have a pre-made graph. So negative 3. First, what we have to do here is, I'm doing this in my head, but first thing that we have to do here is we don't multiply by 2 and then square it. That's not order of operations. Order of operations says you square it, and you only square what this exponent is attached to. If it doesn't say parentheses around here, we don't do that multiplication first. We just do that squared. So we take -3, square it, and get 9. Double it now. 9 times 2 is 18. Minus 2 is 16. Okay? That's off the graph. You can see that we don't have values of y that go that high. Let's try -2. Okay? -2 squared. -2 times -2, 4. 4 times 2, 8. 8 minus 2, 6. We're going to do it for -1. -1 squared, -1 times -1, 1. Times 2, 2. 2 minus 2, 0. Okay? Just because that's 0, that's not necessarily the lowest point, because y can go into the negatives, as you'll see in a second. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to plug in 0. 0 squared, 0 times 0, 0. Times 2, still 0. Minus 2, -2. Okay? And now we'll plug in 1. 1 squared, 1 times 1, 1. Times 2, 2. Minus 2, 2 minus 2, 0. And now we're getting those mirrored values. Once you do that, if you've done it right, you can mirror the rest of them as well. We know the next one's going to be 6. The next one's going to be 16, assuming that these go up by a consistent amount every time. And they do. They go up by 1. Okay? So those are the values. The only ones that we can really graph, the only ones that we can really graph are the ones that are not above 10 for y. So we can graph, put a box around them, we can graph these values right here. Okay, so I'm going to go to -2, 6 right here, -1, 0, that's right there, 0, -2 right there, 1, 0 right there, and 2, 6 right there. Okay, so that's what the parabola looks like. I'm going to connect them in blue, or in red rather, why not? And you know, it's going to go past the highest point that we see. It continues going up. We just don't have the room on the graph to show the next point, but there is a next point up there. And so it's going to keep going like that. Okay? And what you don't want to do is have this line right here go past to the next line. We weren't able to get -3 in there, right? -3 was at 16, so you shouldn't be able to, like at -3, it shouldn't be already over there, or because it has to be up at 16. That's when it crosses -3. That's when it crosses 3. Okay, so it's a pretty crummy looking parabola. I'll see if I can do better later, but you get the basic idea. So what's the graph? Make a table of values. Plug numbers in, use order of operations to solve out what the y value is, plot those points, and when it's a squared term, and again, let me try to do this just a little bit better, make a little bit better sketch of this. Oops. That's not letting me. Let me try this one more time. You get it kind of, if you kind of sketch it a little bit better, if you do it, you know, not just a single line, but you make it like a sketch like that, with going over and over it until it kind of lands where you want it. You get the basic idea. Okay. Hopefully that was helpful. Yeah, make a table, fill it out, and then plot those points and connect them. And if it's a squared function like this, it's going to have like a curve to it, and the curve is going to get more flat right around that vertex point, and then it's going to get steeper as it goes further away from it.